comes a moment when everyone, no matter their age, background, or circumstances, faces the same uncomfortable realization. I'm not rich yet. Why? And while most people rush to grab excuses, blame circumstances, criticize the economy, attack the system, or point fingers at everything outside themselves, a small group of people eventually confront the truth that stings, the truth that shakes you awake, the truth that forces you to see your life from a different angle. The truth is that you're not rich yet, not because of the world around you, but because of who you've been up until now. Getting rich has very little to do with luck, connections, or privilege, and everything to do with mindset, psychology, discipline, choices, environment, habits, and identity. Wealth is not something you stumble into. It's something you construct brick by brick, thought by thought, action by action, day after day, year after year. And if you're not where you want to be financially, it's because the version of you that exists right now is not yet aligned with the version of you that builds wealth. And that's not an insult. It's an invitation, a call, a wake-up moment. You're not rich yet because you were programmed your entire life to think small. You were raised in systems built to shape you into a predictable worker, not a powerful creator. You were taught to follow rules, not question them. You were taught to memorize information, not generate ideas. You were taught to chase security, not opportunity. You grew up hearing things like, don't take risks, find something stable, don't try anything crazy, play it safe, don't get your hopes up, be realistic, life is hard, and the saddest one, just be grateful you have a job. You didn't learn wealth, you learned fear. You didn't learn ownership, you learned dependency. You didn't learn abundance, you learned limitation. And those beliefs didn't come from truth. They came from people who were trapped themselves, repeating what they were taught, passing down their mental cages from one generation to another. You inherited the limits of others, and unless you break them, you will pass them down too. You're not rich yet because you are drowning in distractions. You live in a world that steals your attention at every second. Your phone is your master. Notifications own you. Algorithms control you. Companies spend billions to keep you consuming, scrolling, fantasizing, dreaming, comparing, wanting anything except building. You might not realize it, but attention is the new currency, and you are giving yours away for free to things that give you nothing back. Hours disappear every day into endless digital noise. Entertainment has replaced education. Consumption has replaced creation. Watching has replaced doing. You know who's winning? The people you watch, the people you admire, the people you envy, the people you say you wish you could be like. They're winning because they're producing while you're consuming. They're building while you're scrolling. They're creating while you're daydreaming. They're using the internet to get rich while the average person uses it to numb themselves. This isn't judgment, it's reality. You're not rich yet because your attention is feeding everyone else's empire except your own. You're not rich yet because your relationship with time is broken. You waste it as if you have an unlimited supply. You postpone your dreams as if life will magically pause for you. You say, I'll start tomorrow, I'll save next month, I'll change next year, I'll try when I feel ready. But the truth is brutal. Time is evaporating whether you act or not. The problem is you think you have time, but time thinks nothing about you. Time doesn't care about your goals, your excuses, your fears, or your comfort. It moves forward whether you move with it or not. Wealth is built by those who respect time, who understand that every day wasted is a day stolen from their future. You're not rich yet because you keep procrastinating on the actions that matter and prioritizing the actions that don't. You cling to the illusion that one day you'll magically wake up full of motivation, but motivation is useless. Discipline is what builds wealth, and discipline demands you act even when you don't feel like it. You're not rich yet because you fear failure more than stagnation. You would rather stay stuck than take a risk. You would rather avoid discomfort than pursue greatness. You would rather not try at all than try and fail. But failure is the price of growth. Every wealthy person has failed more times than the average person has tried. They learned through mistakes. They adapted through setbacks. They evolved through adversity. They didn't fear looking stupid, inexperienced, or imperfect. They understood that mastery comes from repetition, and repetition includes failure. You, on the other hand, were taught from childhood to avoid being wrong. You were taught that mistakes are humiliating. You were taught that failure is final. These beliefs keep you paralyzed. You stay inside the familiar, even when it's suffocating. You stay inside the comfortable, even when it's killing your potential. Your fear of failing is stronger than your desire to win, and as long as that's true, wealth will remain out of reach. You're not rich yet because you think like a consumer, not a producer. The moment you get paid, you immediately think about what you can buy from the new phone, new clothes, new shoes, new experiences, new pleasures, new distractions. You spend money to feel something. You spend money to escape the pain of your reality. You spend money to self-soothe your stress, but all that spending keeps you broke. The rich don't think like that. They think, how can I grow this money? How can I invest this money? How can I multiply this money? How can I use this money to give me more time? Consumer thinking makes you look rich. Producer thinking makes you become rich. Wealthy people invest first, then spend. Broke people spend first and never invest. That single difference shapes entire lives. You're not rich yet because you are emotionally reactive around money. When you're stressed, you spend. When you're sad, you spend. When you're bored, you spend. When you're tired, you avoid decisions. When you're insecure, you compare yourself and overspend to keep up appearances. Your emotions control your wallet, and as long as your emotions control your money will control your life. Wealth requires emotional mastery. It requires the ability to delay gratification, endure discomfort, resist temptation, and make decisions based on logic, not impulse. But most people never train this. They live in emotional survival mode. And survival mode keeps you broke. You're not rich yet because you underestimate your potential. You think other people have something you don't. You think the rich are extraordinary, but they're not. They just learned how to do extraordinary things with ordinary beginnings. They learned skills. They learned discipline. They learned focus. They learned execution. They learned consistency. They learned problem solving. They learned to bet on themselves. But you were taught to doubt yourself. You were taught to wait for permission. You were taught to stay in line. You were taught to keep your head down. You never learned how capable you truly are because you've never pushed yourself far enough to discover it. You're not rich yet because you settle. You settle for jobs beneath your potential. You settle for income beneath your value. You settle for a life that doesn't inspire you. You settle for days that drain you. You settle for routines that shrink you. You settle for environments that suffocate your ambition. Wealth requires a refusal to settle. It requires hunger, dissatisfaction, internal fire. But comfort has replaced that fire. You've learned to tolerate a life that doesn't fulfill you. And the truth is, anything you tolerate, you will never change. If your paycheck is enough to keep you comfortable, it will always be too little to make you wealthy. You're not rich yet because you have no plan, no blueprint, no direction, no strategy. You wake up every day and react to whatever comes your way. You move without intention. You hope for progress without designing it. You wish for success without structuring it. The rich don't operate like that. They plan, they map, they track. They set goals with timelines. They measure their progress. They take steps every day towards something clear. Wealth isn't accidental, it is engineered. And if you don't know exactly where you're going financially, you will never arrive there. You're not rich yet because you keep trying to fix your finances without fixing yourself. You try budgeting, saving, investing, but none of it sticks because you're trying to build wealth on top of an identity that isn't built for wealth. Before you change your money, you must change your internal narrative. If you see yourself as someone who always struggles, you will act like someone who struggles. If you see yourself as someone who can't handle wealth, you will sabotage wealth. If you see yourself as someone who is limited, you will make decisions that keep you limited. Wealth is a mirror. It reflects who you are. If you want a richer life, you must become a richer person in your habits, your mindset, your discipline, your self-respect, your standards. And you're not rich yet for one final reason, the most dangerous reason of all. You keep waiting. Waiting for the perfect moment, waiting for more money, waiting for motivation, waiting for clarity, waiting for the right opportunity, waiting for someone to show you the way, waiting for life to get easier. But waiting is the enemy of wealth. Waiting is the habit that kills more dreams than failure ever could. The longer you wait, the further you drift from the life you want. Wealth is available to those who act, not to those who wait. Every day you hesitate is a day someone else is moving forward, learning, investing, building, improving, accumulating, growing. You're not behind because of your circumstances. You're behind because of your hesitation. So if you're not rich yet, understand this. It's not because you can't be. It's not because you're not smart enough, talented enough, lucky enough, connected enough. It's because the version of you that exists right now is not aligned with wealth yet. Wealth is built by becoming deliberate with your time, disciplined with your habits, relentless with your learning, intentional with your environment, fearless with your execution, and uncompromising with your future. Wealth is built when you stop thinking like a victim and start thinking like a creator. Wealth is built when you stop escaping your life and start constructing it. Wealth is built when you stop living like you have unlimited time. Wealth is built when your desire for freedom becomes stronger than your addiction to comfort. Wealth is built when you stop comparing and start creating, when you stop wishing and start acting, when you stop standing still and start becoming the kind of person who attracts opportunity instead of chasing it. The reason you're not rich yet is not a mystery. It's written in your habits, in your fears, in your excuses, in your priorities, in your environment, in your daily decisions, in the stories you tell yourself about who you are. Change those, and your future changes automatically. This isn't about luck. This isn't about privilege. This is about identity, belief, action, and persistence. Wealth is built internally first, then externally. And the day you become the kind of person who is impossible to stop, the day you adopt the mindset of ownership instead of survival, the day you commit fully to becoming someone your future self will thank you for, that is the day the world starts opening for you. That is the day opportunity begins flowing toward you. That is the day the ceiling shatters. You're not rich yet, but you can be. Not because someone will hand it to you, but because you will build it with your own two hands, your own decisions, and your own evolution. And when you finally look back years from now, you will realize the turning point wasn't money. It was the moment you stopped being who you were and became who you were meant to be.